Welcome to Fireside Chats with Dr. Dorothy. We're nearing the end of the year 2025, and I was in a Kingdom Leaders Alliance Zoom meeting this week, and we were talking about, living your purpose and life maps, which I had done with Pastor Mark, who leads this group. And the life map takes you through all the decades of your life, and it's very revealing, and it's a very powerful process. And he had led me through that 2 or 3 years ago. And he, I would tell him stories and things and experiences that I've had, and he would be just sort of amazed, and I have still these things that I want to accomplish and do. And I feel like I've not yet fulfilled my God-given purpose that I'm here for. And I also feel like I'm running out of time, because on January 2nd of the new year, I will begin the last decade of the Third 30, which is a book that I'm working on now. And I find myself feeling anxious that I know I'm not done yet, and I'm running out of time. But instead of looking at it that way, I need to shift my perspective and say, how much time do I have left? And how can I best use that time to fully enjoy what I'm doing and not be stressed about it, and give back things that I've learned along the way that can guide or help someone else when they hear it. So Pastor Mark taught us that particular night this week that you can go to God, and I do, start every day in my prayer chair. I've talked about that with you. And you can ask him, Lord, show me how far I've come. Because when I think that I'm not finished, I haven't fulfilled my purpose, there's still things that I know I'm supposed to do, then I sell myself short on what I have done and what I have accomplished and the good that I have contributed and the incredible experiences that I have gotten to be part of, many of which I know were divine appointments. So I've been asking God these questions lately. And it's so amazing, because I've been in the process this week and started last week of decluttering my office. For the new year, I wanted it to be clear and organized and fresh start. So I've been working on that. But being the type of sentimental person that I am, I get into these files and these old photos and scrapbooks and things that I just get lost in it. I want to read letters, old letters. I want to look through pictures, and I reminisce. I'm transported back in time. And they're so meaningful to me. But I guarantee you that's a very, very slow process. But one of the things that I realized after I had asked God this question several times in subsequent days, it was like he had to hit me in the head with a 2x4 when some of the old photos and things that I was turning up out of my files and stacks of stuff, clearing out closet as well, that, it was like, well, you asked me to show you how far you've come. And that's what I'm doing. I'm showing it to you. In old photos, in baby photos, in different places that I've lived and worked and been around the world, in coming across a file that had, my teaching certificates in it, letters from principals and superintendents for whom I worked in Tomah, Wisconsin, for one. And Frank said, well, you didn't really teach in Tomah when we were there. I said, yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was teaching kindergarten. It wasn't a full-time official position, but I actually filled in for a teacher kindergarten teacher for 2 years. And I had these wonderful letters from the superintendent and the principal and the lead teacher there of the job I'd done and how much I had contributed to those kindergartners. And I realized that that particular job opened up a community that had felt closed until I was in that position and I got to know and love these children and meet their parents, sometimes their grandparents. It just opened doors, and it was a wonderful experience and community while we were there as a military family. So the title tonight is Ask God how far you have come. Do you struggle? Do you feel sometime alone, disconnected, not enough? Do you not give yourself celebrate all of the experiences and the learning that you have along the way, the lives that you have touched? I suggest, as grueling as it is a process for me to have to sort through papers and all of the things involved in that, there's been a real joy in coming across things that I haven't seen for decades. And so I urge you to go back in time and just take a look, write it down, map out how far you have come from the time you were knee-high to a duck until a full adult, like me, going into the last decade of my 30. It's an exciting thing. So I just wanted to remind you, how far have you come? Ask God to reveal that to you. And time after time, through old photos, old letters, things that bring out things that people saw in me that I had no clue, did not see in myself. It's a great process. You matter. You can make a difference. You can be the one to be a life changer that someone will never forget and may list you when you make a list of people who has made a difference in your life and why. They became your miracle. You can be someone else's miracle. I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Cheers.